Yes, sir.
Has there ever been a previous administration that held as many closed-door meetings as this one has?
Not in modern history that we're aware of, no. Or set up czars that did his bidding. And the secretaries of departments, what I hear from my contacts in Washington, are wondering why they're there. Other than just be administrator of the department and go around and do publicity things around the nation. It's the czars that are really making the policy and cracking the whip behind the scenes. That's a concern. The shadow government that's out there. Yes, sir.
Suppose you would lose the primary. Would you support the Republican winner then?
I said that in the debate in Adrian the other night. I said I'll support the Republican, either of the two gentlemen on either side of me. I said I will support them if they win. I said, though I don't think that's going to be necessary. No, I cannot support Mark Schauer, that's for sure. And at that point, I'll support a pick and a poke for basically what they said. But Mark Schauer has proven that he cannot be trusted to represent us. 96% of the time he's voted with Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama. The average for the Democrats in the House is 90%. So who's he representing? Pelosi's district. Not us.
When you call his office, his staff acts like you're bothering them.
Well, you are.
Yeah, especially if you call to criticize. They don't want to hear it. And I know that Annie asked him at one of his meetings, how do you know who in your constituency feels one way and who the other? They don't keep any statistics on it. They don't keep track of people who call in and say, I'm opposed to this, or I'm in favor of that.
On the healthcare issue, I asked him how many calls did he get for, how many calls did he get against? And he stood right there and said, well, we don't keep track of that.
We don't even need to.
He was terrible against it.
I mean, the fact of him holding town hall, unscreened town hall meetings during August of last year, he didn't. I held 5 of them, and I wasn't the seated congressman. He had WebExes, he held teletown hall meetings, and I don't say they're wrong. We held a lot of teletown hall meetings for my office in Washington as well. But they weren't screened. People came in on the phone line, and as long as we had time, normally about an hour and a half time, we took the calls. Sometimes I got my ear blistered. And sometimes, the only times I didn't get it blistered from someone is if my calls, the receptionist who took the call, if they swore at her, I gave her the right to hang up on them. But other than that, we took the calls. And I think that's the responsibility of a member of Congress to come back, not only communicate to, but hear from. And I know the last August I was in office, between speaking on the floor of the House and in chambers, if you remember that, when Pelosi turned the lights out on us, and we were going to speak on the energy issue, and so we went for 1 solid month in darkened chambers, bringing tourists in to sit on the floor of the House and listen to us, and fly home when I wasn't there, which was most of the week, each week. We were holding town hall meetings and small coffees and things like that on an average of 2.5 per day. Some of those were blistering at $5 a gallon of gas. They were not happy people, but that's what you do. Yes, any others?